Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. My pleasure to bring with you here today book author Joe Takash. He authored Results Through Relationships, better known as Joe the Author. Joe, welcome to Traders Nation. How are you today?
Excellent, sir. Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. Hey, listen, Joe, what made you decide to write Results Through Relationships? And it goes, here's the subtitle too, folks. Building trust, performance, and profit through people. Very important to know, right, Joe?
Absolutely, just so it doesn't slip too much on the personal side, although I think it has multiple applications.
Sure.
The impetus, Kurt, is we're in the relationship business first, and while that's sort of preaching to the choir, I have a little term I call the dysfunctional evolution of leadership. And what I mean by that is often we never had relationship skills 101 in college, so we get to our professional careers, and no one ever shows us how to run meetings or manage our boss or productively confront anybody.
Sure.
And so I try, and then the higher you go, not only do more importantly do these skills count, but the less honest feedback we receive because of positions of intimidating authority.
Yeah. Joe, the more that I try to manage my boss, the more I get whiplashed, okay? I don't know about you. All right, so let's talk about results through relationships. You talk about a lot of managing up. What exactly does that mean?
I didn't catch. I talk a lot about a lot of what? I'm sorry.
Managing up. Oh,
yeah.
in results through relationships. Exactly what does that mean?
Well, it simply means the ability to communicate effectively, transparently, and courageously to your boss, which we typically don't do. We often put ourselves in order-taker positions.
All right.
And the saddest thing I see, and I'll give you a very quick one on this, is there was a 61-year-old man who had been in a business for 35 years, and he came up to me midway through a seminar I was doing, and he said, I really love the young people. I actually like my boss. I love my company, but I don't feel as included. And I said, how does it make you feel, Art? And he said, it hurts. And this is a pretty burly, tough guy.
Sure.
And he said, I don't know what to say to my boss. I said, you just said it, but I'm not your boss.
Right.
The saddest thing I see, Kurt, is people get on the cell phone and they talk to everybody else, but they don't develop a cogent plan, not because they don't want to, they don't know how to, for effectively managing up in a way that does not hurt anybody's authority and creates a level of opportunity.
Yeah, but Joe, you know this and I know this, and people need to really learn this, is that the boss, even though he or she is your boss, your supervisor, what have you, they're people too. And you just simply go in and communicate with your boss like you would anybody else that you would communicate with respect to. All right? Your thoughts on that, Joe?
Agreed, but I just don't think that's steeped in the reality, certainly of corporate America, because conventionally for many years we've been autocratic, dictatorial, top-down. And put in your dues and shut up and don't talk to me. And that is in our psyche, whether we want it or not. Now, many of you out there are probably saying, well, not with my boss, and you may have an acceptance. But, Kurt, most people do not quit their jobs or their project. They quit their boss. They quit their boss.
I see. Now, Joe, listen, I think I agree with you. I don't know if nowadays corporate America is as stringent as it used to be in the days of, dictatorial. I think more people today and more bosses have really learned to massage their relationships, because I think supervisors and bosses, upper management, well, I do feel that some are still in dictatorial, but I do feel that they realize, bosses today realize that, hey, we can massage these relationships with underlings and be able to get them to do more, perform more, and do it without in a way to where it's my way or the highway. Would you agree with that?
I agree. It's definitely in the process of becoming more collaborative. However, now there's a flip side to that. You may have a great relationship, and it may be so collaborative that when sticky points come up, what do? We're not productively confrontational. And, the one thing I say is translate to your personal life for a second with your spouse or someone you really love. Your best relationships are not built, they're rebuilt. They're the ones that have the mettle to respond to those confrontations and build off and learn from.
All right. So what's one of the, you talked about strategies here and about maybe even crossing a line. What is the best strategy if you have a question that may cross the line with the supervisor, boss, et cetera?
Well, I think there's some questions in there that I put down, like, when is the best time to meet with you about something that I believe is really important?
Right.
What you want to do is start planting seeds. Or in the process of meeting, let's say you're my boss, Kurt, I would say, Kurt, do I have permission to speak honestly with you? And right away I'm planting a seed for your ears to pop open a little bit more and say, go ahead.
Right.
And in a way, you're once you say yes, you're sort of signing the clause to be able to hopefully remove your ego and not look like I'm usurping your authority. Or if, in fact, I feel intimidated, and there's a huge chapter I put in there about vulnerability, and if you think, Kurt, about some of the best bosses you've ever had, they're not the ones who are invulnerable. They're the ones who could say, I was wrong, or I don't know, or frankly, I'm not sure, but I'm going to find the answer.
All right. In today's technology-driven world, how do you recommend growing existing relationships into partnerships?
Well, number one, that toggles back and forth. Number one is use technology to the best of your ability. I love email.
Right.
I love laptops. I love BlackBerry. The problem is they came out so fast, there's no protocol on how to use them, and therefore people detest them because they're copied on 300 emails. And so as a result, the actual message doesn't get filtered. So number one, there needs to be an institution of protocol on a per company or at least a per team basis. Number two, don't hide behind the keyboard. And what I mean by that is if I have a problem with you, particularly if it's sticky or something that could be misinterpreted because it's toneless in email, make sure you have the courage to say, look, we need to get together for lunch or walk down the hallway and actually meet with a person. So use it, but use it strategically and make sure it's not just a data exchange. There's feeling behind it, and if it goes deeper, make sure it's face-to-face.
Now, Joe, let's touch on that because you said emails are great for communications, but people may not actually hear the tone of how you're transposing that message to them, and they may actually take it in a wrong direction. Should they set an email, if there's a communication to a boss or to a colleague, should you set up that communication by setting it up by saying, listen, this is my tone, it's sensitive, it's non-combative, I want you to hear me out on this, and here's my message. Is it smart to do that ahead of time so they can't misconstrue, they can't take it upon themselves to try to figure out your tone?
Yeah, something what you just stated is brilliant, and I'm not stroking you, I'm telling the truth. It's emotionally intelligent. And that's 85% of what makes up a leader, is to be able to say, look, let me state the intent of my message, just so this isn't misconstrued. But I would also say, if it does require that much stipulation, then it probably warrants a face-to-face, or at least if you're cross-country, a phone call.
Right, exactly. All right, now, of course, Joe, where can we get this great book at Results Through Relationships? Where can we find it?
Well, the two best outlets are Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com because you don't have to go down to your store, and in the event they don't have them in stock, they will always have them online.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
And then one other food for thought, if I may give an innocuous plug. On Friday morning,
go ahead.
No self-promotion, but I put out positive quotes. They take less than 30 seconds to read. They're called Quicksters. If people want to get on in their mind food for thought, and if you hate positive information, then you probably don't want to get on this list. But it's victoryconsulting.com.
All right.
That's my firm's site, and you can also get to my personal site, joetakash.com, but that's hard to spell. So Victory Consulting, and just sign up for Quicksters.
All right, appreciate that. And head on over to that website today. Sign up today. Plus, get a copy of Results Through Relationships. Of course, building trust, performance, and profit through people. Joe Takash here today with us. I appreciate your time, Joe.
Kurt, your enthusiasm is contagious, and I appreciate it very much.
You're more than welcome. All right, Joe, once again with us here today, Results Through Relationships. All right, appreciate that. Get a copy today, Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, great place to go and get a copy of this book. And head on over to Joe's website today. He'll appreciate it. I know that for sure. All right, now let's open up the phone lines, 866-762-2777. That's the number, get in the queue, and we'll talk about your stocks here today. There it is on your screen, okay, for those watching. 866-762-2777. That is the number, all right? Joe, the author. We do appreciate his time today.
Everybody's Joe something now.
Of course. Of course.
Joe, and from what he said, you're Joe somebody.
Did he say I was Joe somebody?
Kinda, yeah, kinda.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'll have to watch the rebroadcast.
So.
All right. Well, good enough. What do you want to do today? What do we got left time? We got time left. How much time do we have left?
We actually have an entire segment left. In this segment, we only have, I don't know, about...
What?
40 seconds.
40 seconds?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's kill 40 seconds. I'm just going to sit here and drink coffee.
Nice.
That's what I'm going to do.
Let's see if I can get another shot of that. There we go.
Drink coffee.
There, kind of, there's that shot.
No, I'll have to move over for that shot. All right. And then,
That's good.
That is so good.
Let's get a close-up.
Do we have to?
Yeah, let's get a close-up shot.
Do we have to? I'm growing my hair out.
Come on, we're gonna put this in the bank so we have it. You never know when we're gonna use this close-up.
In what bank? Is it FDIC insured?
Not with your close-up, my man. Okay, too close. Backing on out. 10 seconds, we're out.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, QRCP. I'm going to talk about that on the other side. Plus, we got some news. So stay tuned. You are tuned in to Trades Nation. We'll be right back.